So here we go, finally the last part. So this is me saying, okay, let's look at all of this and what have you. The horse, I would say, yeah, that's what we want, but the wording is your own choice of colour. The outside satin line eventually now is your own choice of colour. Your tack down strips, the X's around the satin to hold it all together. I'm going to do mine in the blue the same. I've only done this so that you can see it on the screen. I'm not saying I'm doing blue because I don't know what I'm going to do. When I have chosen the fabrics that I'm going to lay down, and when I've chosen my background fabrics, that is when I will choose the actual colours that I will run under the machine. This, if you like, is just a descriptive and information so that the sewing machine knows that if you change colour you've got to stop, which means that you can do something. Okay, so I don't know what I'm going to use yet, but I'm ready to go. I'm going to hoop up my 5x7 hoop with wash away stabilizer. I use, as I said to you before, a fabric type. I would never use the plastic looking type, only as a top stabilizer, not as like in the hoop stabilizer. So I would suggest I use, as I said, the one I got, it's called Obigon, which I get on Amazon, and I get yards of it, and it's great, not so bad. So that's a wash away stabilizer that you're going to hoop with now in your 5x7 hoop, and then we're going to go from here. The first thing we need to do in this particular instance now is to come down, let's close that digitized bit up because we've done our work, and come down to output design, yeah? And then we come down to export design, yeah? Export design. And that's going to bring me up there we go. What can I do? This, that, and the other. Yeah, what can I do? So, I need to now go and get my little USB stick out the side of my machine over here. Okay. And then pop my USB stick into the side of my computer. You hear it go in, I expect. There it is, it's in. So now I can come down to USB drive E, embroidery folder, yeah, No, I don't want Norton to do anything. Open up my embroidery folder and say, well, let's put it under Lovelock, yeah, and let's put it under 2002. I got towels, so I'm going to make a new folder and say, mug rug, yeah, mug rug. There it is. So I just made another little folder. Design one. No, I want this to be, I want to call it horse. Horse, yeah. And obviously here I'm going to choose what I want. Now for my machine I've got a Janome MC15000, and the best file for me to use is a JPX file. Now, when I put this, if I were putting this up as something for other people to know me to use, I would put it up as a JEF file. But I can do it with a JPX file, which is the best one, and say save. And now that's saving that executable file to my USB stick, which I'm now going to go and stick in my sewing machine. And here we go. So I'm at my sewing machine, and I have just loaded up, or I'm loading up, some dark green as we speak. Working around the camera, as you do. I did my thread capture, and taking that off of there, right? On my, you can't see it, but on the side of my computer is the whole thing as I want it. This is loaded with this fabric, was what I was saying to you about being the fabric type
of wash away stabilizer that I use. I put it in my hoop, nice and tight. I've got Superior Threads bottom line, that's like the brand name, 60 weight thread in white on the bottom. Okay, I've just loaded up a green embroidery thread, and now I am going to press number, well, I'm going to press start, so it'll give me, hopefully, the outside hoop, so I know where to put my fabric. Oh, look at that, immediately it's not working. Excuse me a moment. Oh God, help me, please work. Doesn't want to, does it? It's not working. Right, stop. I've obviously got a major problem here which I'm going to have to look at. What time is it? 10 to 11. Continue. Right, I had a huge problem getting this to work for me. I absolutely understand. Who was I chatting to this afternoon? What was her name? Not Deborah. What was her name? Ooh, Sharon, I think it was. And she was saying I've got so many issues with my top tension. Well, this is my 4th attempt, as much as when it comes round again, you'll see I practically wore a hole in the wash away stabilizer because I've had to cut the stitches, start again, cut the stitches, start again. Right? Okay. So there we are. Yeah, let me just move that forward for you so you can see. A minute. Come forward. See here? I got a hole now. Because I've done it so many bloody times. Anyway, never mind. So the next thing is batting. Alright, we're moving on. We're moving on. And we're pretending it didn't happen, but it does. It does. And it happens to me. I got a lovely machine. So there's my batting. Yeah? Then I think the background would be very nice if it was, what's the square, isn't it? And I've got to make sure that this is fitting. Because if that's over, yeah, the top of the square there, and that's down there, it's, yeah. Oh, I cut that a bit fine, didn't I? Would it be longer the other way up? Let me just see. Let me just see a minute. Over there. Over there, over there. Yeah. Or cut this bit fine. No, that's got more room that way up. Okay. Put the batting back. So batting. Yeah. Should have cut this bigger. And then this. And I want to make sure, obviously, I got a 1/4 inch over there. And holding it. Making sure, yeah, he's covering the other end. Okay. So now I want to stitch this background fabric and the batting to the Obegon. Ooh, so here we go. That. It's going to be a single stitch line. Oh, yeah, you may want to sellotape this down. You might want to, you know, sellotape it down, but at the end of the day, I'm always with my machine as it's working, and smoothing, you know, I'm going to give it, you know, a fairly good smooth as it goes around. Okay. So this is the first line going down to hold the batting and the fabric together. I can take that nice long piece and just cut that out of the way. Right, woohoo! Camera. Right. So the next thing I want to do is change my thread and put on the light silver. So you nasty bit of green, can get out of the way. Caused me so many problems. Wasn't your fault. There was something to do with me, I expect. Anyway, so now I am gonna add this grey in. It's not metallic thread, but it has got a sheen to it, which I quite like. Oh, I will tell you in a minute when I get off of this bit. Right, it says 58 minutes or so this time. Right, okay, so start, next round. So as I said to you, this is going to give me my placement for my horse fabric, base fabric, yeah? Remembering this is going sideways, remember? Alright, that's not a problem. So this is the fabric, and of course I do, this is the Bumbleberries by Lewis and Irene, and it's like a bone colour. I always use Mary Ellen's Best Press, so that was the line that showed me where to put it, and this now, start, is the line to show me to tack it down once, okay. And I could just bring my hoop forward. Okay. So I can use, well, I use these curved scissors. So now, I don't know whether this is in focus or not. I think it may be. But what I'm doing, I hold up the fabric, and I am cutting the fabric. Well, I can take it off as well. I can take it off the arm, so I can move it around a bit. Okay? And then cut it to the stitch line. Alright? Can't see quite what I'm doing there. Never mind. Yeah. Right. And I think I can go a little slimmer there. Okay, and a little slimmer over here, right? But remember, we've got black that's going to cover this as well. So there's my horse's head has gone down in this bone colour grey fabric. Okay. And the next thing it wants to do is to tack down, the zigzag tack down for it. So I'll say, yeah, but it just bring me back to where it should go. So yes, come on then. Do my little tick tack down now. Oh, how many times? Right, so that's that done. Well, that was the grey, the turquoise and the grey again. Cut off loose threads, put them in my thread catcher, and now we're going to start with the brown. Right, so this is laying down the placement of where it needs to go. I'm lucky because I can move my hoop around at will. Some people can, some people can't. So now that's down, I can take my bit that I think is a piece of wood, yeah? And I want the grain to go that way, yeah? Okay. Add that on top now. You could sellotape it down to what you like. I won't, but you could. And now it's going to tack it down with that running stitch again. And I'm going to move my hoop forward again so that I can trim it to that size. So now we've got the I've got to get rid of that. We've got, oh no, that's the string coming out. We've got the wooden part coming down. So the next bit is and I've cut it, as you can see, down to the line, the outside perimeter line. And now we will do the box type of zigzag, which sort of tries to incorporate the edge of the design. And now we're going to go on to the chocolate, the brown again. I'm just going to cut that line there. Okay. Which, because they're all the same colour, it won't stop. So what it's going to do now is do the single run lines, and this is why we split up the applique. The single run lines to make these planks, and it will continue on and do the overall cover stitch of satin all in one go because it's the same colour. So now it's going to lay down that satin cover. It'll do some more box zigzagging, which actually I could have taken out, to be honest with you, but it doesn't matter. I could have on the screen when we made this, I could have stopped this step. But as it's happening, well, we let it happen. And I got my machine actually running the slowest it can. I'm just going to speed my machine up a bit now. And as I was saying to you, this really is the first test stitch out, so if something does go horribly wrong, now we're going to see and we'll make adjustments. But so far, it's working okay, but it's hard for us to recognise when we're working on screen, for example, if that's the entire space of the horse's head, then the work we're doing on it is quite intense, isn't it? I'm just thinking about the grey muzzle and what have you, where, oh, now it's going on to do the top lay down of the satin stitch. And my machine, because it's a very good machine, it was slow to do corners and things like that, okay? But now looking at the size of the horse head, actually I could have probably taken out some of the underlay of some of the stitches that we're going to use with that grey. So that's a thought for me. Well, you know, we'll see how it progresses. So now it's doing this lovely brown satin stitch to finish.
From this point forward, I'm going to really fast forward my video because we're just going to follow step by step the colours as we go, as we've written them. I know because I've stitched it out now and I know the results and they are brilliant, so I'm very happy with it. So I'm going to fast forward now so until we get to the end of the horse, okay? As you can see right here, I had a terrific problem and I had to look at everything, cut off bits that weren't working for me, reset my bobbin, reset everything because something went wrong at the time. Put it back under, have another go, cut off the back, I did get, a bit of a bird's nest under it, make sure it was alright, pull out stitches and then start again and then it worked fine. So you're not the only one, this happens to all of us.
here in red. I don't know. Thinking it'd be bright, isn't it? Right, let's see how this goes. I'll start recording the stitching, but I may turn it off because obviously this is going to be quite long-winded, the stitching out of this bit, yeah? So this is all the wording going to get stitched down now. Did a jump stitch. And I'm going to stop that just a moment because I can see that this thread, I don't want it to get caught into something else. Very nicely. So I can stop the video and just let that go on and play. Yeah, I think we're still in the same place, aren't we, as we were before? Which hopefully I can zoom in on. Right, so I finished stitching out the words, and as you can see from this picture, there are a few places where I got tails to cut. Where's my tweezers so I can hold the thread and cut it? Have I got anything? Well, when I get it off the frame, there may be things that I might cut. Ooh, look at that there. That got caught up, didn't it? So that one, that's the tail to cut. I do think there's another tail there somewhere that I haven't seen. But anyway, oh, and also you see this on the well, on the teeth here now, I can see there's a couple that I'm just cutting. Okay, just looking at it, giving it a gentle movement with the edge of my tweezers. There's one I want to cut. Yeah, you getting in my nerves. I don't know if you can see me if I'm up the other way and my hand's in the way, but very short, tiny white one there I wanted to cut. Yeah, ooh, a teeny bit there of fabric actually. I wanna just like I didn't quite cut that fabric as closely. And I might have to come back to that actually when I get it off the hoop and finalise that, where I may not have cut my fabric as quite as short. It's not the, this is not the stitching, this is the brown fabric I didn't cut quite slim enough on a couple of occasions there. And I just, I got another pair of scissors. They're called Squizzers. Okay. Have I got them here? No. Where are they? Don't know. Got another pair here. These are called Amtech straight micro scissors. Well, Squizzers, micro scissors, whatever you want to call them. But basically, the other pair has got a curved edge. These haven't, so I got to go careful, right? So then, ooh, yeah, I might have to do it off the hoop because it's too flat for flat scissors. But I've got curved squizzers and I don't even know where they are at the moment. Anyway, I'll come back to that. But that's all looking good, yeah? So that's the wording done out, yeah? And then I was wondering, well, should I do my thing in red? And then I was thinking, no, I won't. Because, and also I can see that there is a black and brown thread. Oh, now I need my tweezers that are jumps. It's a jump stitch. And I don't want, I know it's tiny. And I might have to come back to it. Tiny. But I didn't want that, I don't want that there. There are always teeny, you know, if you want to make it perfect, teeny weeny stitches you want to get rid of. Okay. Tiny bits that stick up and say, well, no, I like it. Oh, there's one. Sod. Get rid of it, right? Didn't like that. Okay, so let's have a look at that eventually when I get it off the hook. So the next stage is now we need to back into this, okay, because on my screen now the next thing it's going to do is repeat this outside line, which is great. Don't want red, so I'm going to put my green that I did like back on. I'm going to do it in green, I think. So wind it up one, and I shouldn't take this off actually. Whoops, move the camera. So I'm just going to put the green back on, because that's the next thing that's going to happen. But for the moment, I'll just bring it in, but I'm not going to put it through the needle for the moment. So now I want to take my hoop off. Okay, and I'm open. Really open, you can see this, even if I... Right, so I'm turning it over, so that you can see now. I don't want it under the needle, but can you still see it if I move the camera a little bit? Right, so there's the back of my work, right, and as you see there's long stitches I'm not worried about. And when I started to do that outside line, oh, did that give me some problems? Anyway, it's in and it's done, and I will just pull that green out and cut it. It doesn't matter, it's all going to get covered up now, right? All these stitches are going to get covered up. So this is the fabric that I decided I wanted without errant threads. I thought I'll back it with this. This is nice, isn't it? So now I want to just make sure, without the errant threads in it, make sure that that does cover top, sideways, bottom. Yeah, it does cover it, yeah? And this is where you have to stick it down, and I'm using, well, you could call it painter's tape. It's like a paper tape. Freezer tape we call it here in the UK. I don't know what you might call it anywhere else, but it's like paper, okay? So it's very easy and very light tack, okay? But it's good enough to hold down our fabric on the back of the hoop now. Yeah? While we put it back under the machine. Alright? So that's holding my backing down. Alright? So I'm going to turn over my hoop back to where we were. And I am going to, still working, yeah, put my hoop back on, to my machine, alright, and then, oh, no, silly me, before I put the hoop back on to this, what I want to do is to whip out that grey 60 weight, what's it called, bottom line thread that I was using for my embroidery, and I'm hoping I got one already spun. I've done this before. I want the green. Where's it? Got to be on one of my sets of bobbins. There he is. I knew it would be. Okay, so If not, you know, if you haven't like me got one, you have to spin one off. So yeah, is that one? That's a beveled one. Is that a flat one? Yeah, that's a flat one. I prefer the flat ones somehow. But this is corresponding green to what I'm going to use on top. Because remember now, this stitch you're going to see from the back. Alright, so I'm going to just pop that bobbin into my bottom holder so that it will give the same appearance on the back as it does on the front. Oh, I've just seen another one there as I put that back over. Always in them. This is my nightmare. I wake up seeing threads, I swear to God. Anyway, pop, oh, I've lost my scissors now. Popping that back on and finding my clear scissors, because I can't work without my clear scissors. Right, so we're right back in the place we want to be, and this number 19 stitch, as it says on my panel on my machine, is now going to be the, go asleep, is now going to be a single line again, and I don't need, I can load this line now. I didn't load it before because I did wonder whether I'd need to just quickly spool off a bobbin, but I don't have to. So now I can just load this up. Come here, you little so-and-so. Get under there, back there, lock it off, whack it in. Oh, you didn't work, did you? Whack it in. Didn't work. Also, I keep seeing this. I got a bit of metallic-y type grey. Get rid of that. Right. Now, I always think if it didn't go in once and then didn't go in twice, it's because it didn't like it, right? So I'm now going to re-thread it. Alright, you get a feel for your machine. And I know if it wouldn't thread the first or second time, there's something wrong with the tension at the top. It didn't like it. So here we go, third time lucky, re-did it. Yeah, see, now it goes in. Now I know it's alright. You get to know your machine, don't you? And I just knew it didn't like it. Right. So it's just a single line now. Lock off. Thank you. And start the pattern again. And you may notice, this is something for you to notice now, although the pattern was written, that line was exactly the same as the line previous to it. You see how we're getting a tram line? Well, that is how the fabric has shrunk in with the embroidery we've done already, yeah? You see that now? So it looks like tram lines. And yet, on the programme, they are written entirely on top. They are a complete facsimile of the one we had before. But this is what happens with the pull of the stitching. Now it's a tram line, which is a good job. We got a 4mm line going down. But before we can do that 4mm line, 4mm satin line that's going to go down now, again, I have to take it off the hoop and from the turn over from the back side, yeah, rip away that holding tape, and using your curved scissors or applique scissors. I got applique scissors. Yeah, here they are. Let me show you. There they are. Lovely applique scissors. Yeah, but I don't like them, so I can use them. So I will use my embroidery scissors, and then again, without sort of spoiling the pattern, knowing that we got a bit. And I always find it difficult now because I'm working with the camera in my down way, right? But we are cutting the back down, and when we've cut the back down, we're going to cut the front down, which is a bit more difficult, because there we also have batting to contend with as well. Alright. So in front of you now, I'm just doing the back. And the bobbin means that the back is going to be as equally as green as the front. Now, when you're doing embroidery, right, 2/3 of your embroidery colour on top is going to come through. And only 1/3 of your bobbin colour, like mine was that light grey before, only 1/3 of your bobbin should show. It should, the tension, with mine I use different bobbin holders that give me different bottom tensions, and I don't know what you do on other machines, because I just really like my machine naturally, but I use a different bobbin holder is tighter than normal stitch, right? And I trim it around so that I'm only leaving around about 1 to 2 millimeters edging fabric, okay, on that one. So that's that side done. Turn it over, and I can see I marked that up. So, and then what we need to do now is, I'll show you a little bit and then I'll stop, but this is the top fabric, okay, and the batting fabric, yeah, see me? See me? I am now cutting away from, it's difficult because I'm really hampered by this damn camera now, but I'm cutting the batting and the top fabric without cutting my stitches, okay, away. If I didn't have the camera on, I would be so much closer to it, because I am sat about 2 foot away at the moment, so it's like arm's reach for me, right? Anyway, I won't talk anymore because I've cut this out. I'm going to pop that back on the hoop now. Come on, my little love. Dropping it on and making sure that that is through. And the next thing to do, round at 20 on my machine. Okay, so I cut the back, cut the front, and we're ready to go. And I go through it this dark, well, it's darker green now. This is going to now do a box stitch. Well, it's going to do another run round, and then it's going to do a box stitch, and then it's going to do the satin stitch. Stop, cut your thread. Something went wrong there because that did not catch. So what happened? Oh, somehow, because I changed the bobbin, didn't I? Right? Obviously something happened with the bobbin. What happened with the bobbin? Where are you? It must have snapped on me somehow. We're doing that. Just get in there. These things are sent to try you, and you know, it's not you. This happens to all of us. Yeah? Which is a good thing. They didn't like that one, did it? Let's see if it likes this one. Thankfully, I had two. Right, back on. Right, and on my panel, I'll go up a stitch where it finished doing that last round, and then down a one, so it's now going to start, hopefully, fingers crossed, the tack down stitches for this. Yeah, It likes it this time. Now it's going to do a box zigzag. Yeah, and now you can see it's starting to do the zigzag, the satin stitch, which I'm hoping, because you see this is what happens, the pattern, it won't matter, but the fabric does move inwards as you know. It's alright, it's being covered. Now that's why this is a 4mm, I think it's 4, I can't remember what we did now, wide satin stitch, because to take account of the pull factor of the embroidery on the fabric. I mean, it all looks brilliant on the screen, but when you come to sew it, you can see the pull factor, can't you, now? I'm just going to turn the camera off a minute, because, you know, until it gets back to the other side. I've turned the camera back on because we're coming back around to, it's going to meet up, isn't it, in a minute. And remember, this one we did a manual stitch on because we wanted it to just overlap the beginning by a couple of stitches to give us a nice firm ending to our satin stitch, because satin stitch is renowned for furring up and loose, especially when you shove it in the wash, as I do everything I make. It's renowned for, you know, coming apart a little bit, so we've done it deliberately to overstitch that closure. Which it has. Now the next stitch is the last one, which was in orange, tangerine, whatever colour we did it, which is the cross stitch to really unify this satin stitch. So I'm just going to press start for the very last time, and it will do this top cross stitch. and there it is, finished. Okay, it was good. It was on my timer on my machine. It said it was going to take 45 minutes to stitch out. Well, of course, laying down fabric, stopping and starting, adding different colours, because you've got to add all that on top of it. So it's, you know, it takes a good hour or more, yeah, even if you're sat watching it. So the next thing I need to do now is I'll take my scissors and cut a few millimetres away all around the hoop. Let me just show you the back a minute. Turn it over so I can show you. Whoops. This is like it's got magnets that don't want it to sit down, but can you see that now? Yeah, I think so. So that's the back of the mug rug, and now you can see why I wanted to bring in the green on the bobbin so that it was a unified green all the way around. So I'm going to cut that out now. Then I'm going to get myself a little paintbrush and a bit of warm water, hot water, and then just dab along the edges to get rid of any residue of this wash away thing, and I'll show you the completed thing. Okay.
Alright then, so here's the finished article. You can still see there's a bit of watercolouring where I've gone round and got rid of the Obi-Gon around the outside, but that dried out lovely, and I've also stuck on a bit of a crumpled background. But however, next to it you see the little picture we started with when we started digitising, and all in all I don't think we've done a bad job whatsoever. What I want to do next is say to you that this file, this horse mug rug, yeah, will be available on our on our Facebook page, Lovelock Designs Embroidery Group, in files for free, and I'll put it up in a couple of different versions. If you want another one, then write on the Facebook page and say, but I need it in this, and I can do it for you. So that's the next thing. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and you do join our Facebook group, and you do subscribe to this channel and see what we're doing next. Any questions, leave them in the bit below the video, and I'll get back to you. Thank you.